Are you unknowingly making this estrangement from your child even harder? In this video, I want to share with you some of the worst things that you can do during estrangement. And I want to share with you how neglecting yourself, neglecting self-care can intensify your struggle. And this is not only to preserve your well-being, but also to empower you to navigate your own life during this challenging time. I want to make sure you're not falling into this common trap that I did that could be holding you back from your healing, but ultimately also reconciliation. So join me in this video as we talk about nurturing yourself through this trying time, this roller coaster ride. And you know the old saying, self-care is not selfish? It is so true. I went through this estrangement and I didn't realize exactly what that had meant. But I promise it is 100% true. And I also know that if you choose to not take care of yourself during this time like I did for many years, I went the other direction. Instead of the direction of healing, I went into the direction of sickness and actually making things worse, not only for my family, but for myself. And so that made it worse. And so I don't want that to happen to you. So I want to share with you today 5 tips that I believe helped me a lot during my time of estrangement and just the rocky relationship, just the roller coaster ride we talk about so frequently. Okay, so number 1 is mindfulness and prayer. So regardless of your faith, mindfulness is staying present, right? It's helping you focus your thoughts, center your thoughts, manage your stress. It's going to help you reduce anxiety because you're actually focusing on the here and now, not the past or the future, right? So really honing in on that can help you emotionally. And it will also help you handle the ups and downs of the future, of this roller coaster that you're on. You know, prayer for me is everything. I know it is for a lot of you, but the premise of this, of what I'm getting at here in this video, is including surrender, right? Surrendering the estrangement, surrendering the tough relationship. All of that is surrendering because that is telling God that you know that you're not in control. And the sooner you realize that you are only in control of yourself, the easier this is going to be. And I think we spend too much time focusing on everything else and everyone else when the person we need to fix is the one looking back at us in the mirror. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I had a lot of things that I needed to work on. And so if you have never started a prayer journey or even just some mindfulness time where you're just sitting in a quiet space, focus on your breathing, I would encourage you to start with even 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and maybe increase as time goes on as you become more comfortable. But it will start to become such a wonderful habit and part of your life. And a lot of people will include that as part of their morning routine or evening routine, either one. But I think it's a great way to start your day. So also another way some of the moms that I serve do it is going for a walk. And a wise person once told me that was a beautiful practice was that when he would go for a walk, he would pray like on his way to the destination, and then he would be quiet and actually listen on the way back. And when's the last time that you actually sat in silence? Silence is deafening, right? And many of us don't like it. It's uncomfortable. But when is the last time you actually just listened with no distraction? So our world is obviously so full of distractions. We all have them, right? So we have to make a concerted effort to do that, or it's certainly not going to happen on its own. Okay, number 2, physical activity. Okay, Sally, yeah, I know physical activity is really good for me. I don't have to tell you how important physical activity is for you, right? But it's maintaining your health. And we all know that. But why? Why is it so important? Because it's a natural mood lifter. It releases really good endorphins, right? And those are the things that are going to help you alleviate your anxiety and your depression. That's why so many moms ask me all the time, what type of exercise should I do? And I've always been told, and this is what I share with my clients too, is you have to do whatever you can do consistently. It doesn't have to be what I do or what your friend does, but whatever you do needs to be consistent. Find something that you like to do. Find the right workout for you. Like I said, something that you actually enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it. If you feel like it's a chore, it's not going to last long, right? So it's also fun to have a friend or some accountability around it, because then you're accountable, whether it's actually doing it together or taking a photo or checking something off, right? So some examples briefly would be like a brisk walk in your neighborhood. Even just like 15 minutes at a time can help you. Or some of you might want to join a class. Maybe you like Pilates or something like that. You can join a class, where you can also not only get a good workout, but you're hopefully making some good friends that you have something in common with. Because if you're going to the same class, you automatically have exercise in common. So that's a great way to do it. Me personally, I lift weights a couple times a week. I try for 3, and I walk. So I'm currently training for a Grand Canyon hike that got derailed last year. So I have a goal. And what is your goal, right? Whatever your goal is, that's what you need to shoot for. And if it's walking a mile every 2 days or walking a mile a day, whatever that is, you need to have a goal, because if you don't have a goal, you'll hit it every time, right? So that is definitely a big piece of it. And number 3 is healthy eating. I know you may be thinking, yeah, we know we need to eat healthier. We all know we need to eat healthier. But I want to share with you how changing how I ate has changed my life. And because we know we need to eat a balanced diet, right? We know we need to limit sugar and processed foods. And if you drink alcohol, you should probably be limiting that, right? We all know these things up here. But how do you go about doing it? And for me is to try to balance that, balance your macros. So just all that means is your fat, your carbs, your protein, right? High protein. Women my age, we need higher protein. Eat the good carbs, et cetera, et cetera. But why? So there's a lot of good foods that are known to boost your mood and brain health, right? There's a purpose behind all of this. There's a purpose of why we move our body. There's a purpose of why we are always told to eat these healthier foods. Boost that mood. We need to boost the mood. Fish and high fiber, green vegetables, fruits, all of that. Just eliminating processed foods in and of itself can make a huge change. I know it has for me in my time frame here that I've been working on that. But the processed foods, what does it do to you? I know what it does to me. I crash, energy crash. You get mood swings. And right now, more mood swings is not what you guys need. Right now, you're going through hell on this roller coaster ride. And I want you to get off the roller coaster. I want to help you get off the roller coaster. And I want to help you stay as peaceful as possible. But it starts with what we put in our mouth. So for those of you that want to learn how I can help you overcome and navigate through this season, you're ready to jump into some type of coaching, you want to learn more about my program and how I help, you can click the link for the discovery call below. And I look forward to chatting with you on a consultation. Number 4, quality sleep. Again, we know why sleep is so vitally important, but do we know what the lack of sleep actually does? We all know if you get really poor sleep, it's going to make your next day crap, right? You're not going to feel so good. You're not going to have a lot of energy, but it's going to also increase your stress. It's going to increase your depression, your anxiety, which is obviously making everything harder to manage all the challenges that you're already experiencing. Not only in this estrangement period or a tough relationship, but you have your job, you have other things in your life too. And so I would encourage you to create a bedtime routine that encourages relaxation versus being on your phone or maybe watching TV, the whole, blue light glasses, all of those kinds of things could possibly help. But maybe try reading a book or taking a warm bath or doing some light stretching. But try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. because that will help regulate your sleep cycle. And when I started doing that, yes, I wake up really early on the weekends and that's not so fun, but my body is in a rhythm now with that. And so I feel so much better versus just sleeping in all the time or staying up late. So find a routine that works for you. And lastly, number 5 is I want you to create activities. So I'm not the most creative person in the world. I have so many moms in my group that are so creative with like photography and arts and drawing and painting and all that. And it's so cool. Music, piano. And I love it. I love hearing about all of that. But maybe that isn't you. Maybe you do have a creative gene. If you're lucky, you definitely use it right now. That's what you need. That needs to be a go-to for you. Gardening, things like that. But for those of you that are like me and not so creative that way, I want to challenge you on considering starting a personal blog to document this journey. Doesn't have to be public. Keep it in a Google Doc, keep it in your email, whatever. You don't have to send it to anybody. But I want you to document your journey of your thoughts and your feelings as you progress through this challenging time. Because the thing is, I can promise you that if you do that, you're going to look back and see how much you've improved and see how much more strength you have in the passing weeks, right? You're going to look back and go, wow, my gosh, this work is paying off. I am feeling better. When we don't have anything documented, we forget. We forget how we felt 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago. But when we don't have that, like I said, we don't get to see how far we've come. And I know with the moms that I work with, whether I'm working, for those of you I'm working one-on-one or even in group, I get to see the progression and it is so exciting to me. I love it. But a lot of these women, these moms who are making progress are the ones that are engaged. They're not doing this by themselves. So I encourage you to start that personal blog, go take a walk, get some good rest, document what you eat, because it'll keep you in alignment. It may seem, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. It's going to help you. You don't have to do it forever. Eventually it'll become second nature. But for right now, if you're just starting out, I want you to document all that stuff. And most of all, surrender this situation because God is waiting on you to surrender and let go and let him do his work. I truly believe that is when I started seeing a lot of miracles in my family, is when I surrendered and I didn't give up. I just let go. And I let him do his work because he can do a lot more than I can. So God bless. I'll see you in the next video.